What is going on, guys? It is Big Mike here, back today once again with another video, and today's gonna be another car vlog. We got a few things we gotta do because my registration is due pretty soon, so I need to get my car SMOG'd, which is the emissions test in California. And to do that, I need to swap out my aftermarket cold air intake and put in my stock intake. And also, I have a Mach 1 chin spoiler for my car that I need to install too. So, let's get into it, boys. To get this install going, my dad needs to back out his motorcycle from the garage so we can bring in the car here and start working. So the first thing we got to do, like I said, we got to swap out the cold air intake with the stock intake so we can pass smog. Here is the cold air intake from SR Performance. The install should be pretty easy. I've never done one of these before, but I've heard it should take about 15-20 minutes. So for me, maybe 30-40 minutes. I locked away my stock intake a long time ago. Didn't really expect to have to swap it back in, because that thing is a piece of shit from the year 2000, but I guess we're going in, we gotta swap it. We got my stock springs in here. What else we have? We have my stock mufflers in here. Holy shit, these are massive. I can't believe I had those. I found the box, so let's get going on the de-installation of the aftermarket one. I think the first step should be to unbolt these, and also there's a couple right here, so we can disconnect this from this part of the intake, and then we can take this out of the fender because we have the air filter inside there. And once we take this off, then we should have a lot more room to mess with the rest of this. Take off this airflow sensor right here, then disconnect this, and then we have to disconnect it by the throttle body. Last time when I got this installed, my friend did it. I watched a little bit, so I have a small idea of how to do it, but this is my actual first time doing everything, so I'm a little bit nervous, but thank God you guys are here with me. The only install I've done in the engine bay is this this belt right here. I forgot what it was called. Serpentine belt, that's what it is. I did this serpentine belt. It was actually kind of a hard install because I had to reach inside here and I had to go and basically outline it all the way around there through the right places, and I did it, but it was pretty time consuming and hard. All the other things, like my lowering springs, the cold air intake, like I said, and the muffler delete, my friend did them for me, so I'm a little bit lost here. So let's hope for the best, I'm still not good with the names. I know there's like sockets and wrenches and ratchets and shit, but I kind of don't know which one's which yet, so I guess we'll learn. All right, so I'm gonna use the 10mm socket and the small ratchet to get this bolt off. All right, it's mostly done, so I think I can hand loosen this side here. There we go. This is almost off. And with that hand loosened, then we can pull out this side, and I'll see you guys when we're done with the other ones. We're gonna try to take off this airflow sensor right here before we move on to the other bolts because it's pretty tight in there. I think it'll be a lot easier if we have that extra room. All 4 bolts are off. Some of these were a little bit tricky, like this one and the bottom one. I had to use the little twisty one so I could get under there. It was a little tricky, but we got it. And we unplugged the airflow sensor. So now I'm gonna work on getting all these bolts undone so we can take off this part from here and then take out the air filter that's in the fender wall. I'm using the 8mm socket to do this, and it fits great. Just gotta loosen this a good bit. It's not too tight, so this is gonna be pretty easy to do. Loosen it a little bit more with that, and it should be ready to come off. There we go. Okay. And we got a washer in there too. Okay, sounds good. Right now there's not much room to get this out, so I think this would be easier if we disconnected this hose right here, or if we just took off this top part of the intake. So I think I'm gonna try to take off the top part of the intake so we can just slide this out pretty easily. To take this top part out, we're gonna need to disconnect this right here with a flathead screwdriver, I believe, then disconnect this top part of the intake from the throttle body. Then we should be able to slide this thing out really easily, and then I think we'll have more room to take out this, so that's in the fender well. Very nice. Now the engine bay is pretty empty, so we should have a lot more maneuvering room with this, and this should be able to come out. We got the stock intake completely out. Check out the engine bay. It looks super empty. Now we got to put in the old shitty restrictive intake. To fit the stock intake back on the car, we need to put in the mass airflow sensor from the aftermarket intake right here. We got to disconnect this part from the aftermarket intake, and then we can put this onto the stock intake, and then it should fit perfectly. So we decided to take out all of it from the car, and we're going to connect this part of the intake to the other part where the mass airflow sensor is before we put it in. Then we're going to try to put it all in at the same time. So the full intake is connected. All we have to do now is put this into the car, plug in the mass airflow sensor, and then there's a few other hoses that we're gonna have to put in. The intake is all in right now. We got it connected to the throttle body. Now we just need to plug in this mass airflow sensor, which should be pretty easy. There, we heard the click. So after a little bit of messing around, we got it in at the top. We got by the throttle body, we got it in at the bottom by the fender well, plugged in all the sensors, and we are good. So now let's get it started up. Car started, looking nice and healthy. Yeah, give it one. I guess our first official intake install is done, and it went pretty well. It wasn't too bad at all. We had to mess around with a few things, unfortunately, because I mean, it is my first time and my dad's first time, but you know, we worked together, we got it done, car started up great, and now all we got to do is take our tuner, which we bought a while ago. We're gonna detune the car back to stock, because I don't know if a tune will make it not pass smog, but I don't want to take any risks. So we're gonna put in the stock tune, and also we're probably gonna take it around the block, see how it feels, and then we'll be good. So I got the tuner plugged into the OBD2 port. Now we just gotta load the stock tune, and I'll let you guys know when I'm done. There we go. It finished that download, and now it's moving on to the next step. It says the tune has been programmed successfully to the vehicle. Now we just gotta turn the key off. All the other times I've had to put in my tune, like the 91 octane tune that I've done before, my car hasn't started. Like sometimes it'll start the first time, and then like 10 minutes later, when I try to start it up again, it won't start. So I'm a little bit scared, but thank God I'm still at home. So if it doesn't start, I could jump it or push start it or something like that. So let's see. All right, here we go. Whew, let's go. So the car started. We're gonna take a drive around, see how it feels. I'm gonna make sure it feels good. Probably not gonna do any hard pulls or anything. I don't really care about the performance at this point. I just wanted to get it swapped back in. Then I'm gonna take it to smog. And as soon as I'm done smogging, I'm swapping that shit right back out. And we're going back to the aftermarket cold air intake. So the intake swap was successful. I put in the stock tune, that was successful. I book an appointment, go to the smog check thing. I go in there, everything's looking good. It passes the visual test, everything is looking good. Then I go there to pay, and the guy tells me, your car didn't pass the smog check. I'm like, what the fuck? I put in back my stock intake, I put the stock tune. Like, I don't have anything that should make me fail the smog check. But apparently, my OBD2, which is like the port where I plug in for my tune, I think they plug in there and they try to get some readings to see if my car's doing okay, like if it passes those tests. Apparently, when they put it in, they couldn't get a reading. So my OBD2 port wasn't calibrated correctly. And I'm thinking, what the hell could have caused this? Maybe it's because I put on the new tune, and when I put on the new tune, I have to drive my car a little bit to recalibrate it. And then I realized when I deinstalled my intake and put in the new one, I had to unplug and replug in the airflow sensor. I know I talked about it a lot when I was doing the install. But yeah, I had to disconnect and reconnect the airflow sensor. And because I did that, I think it needs to take time to recalibrate. And I needed to do a bunch of driving, like some 0 to 45 at half throttle and at 3/4 throttle. I had to cruise at 65 miles an hour for about 10 minutes, and I had to do some stop and go driving. And I think I did most of that today. And good thing with this place, you can do a free recheck. So I can take back my car tomorrow or the next day or even the week after, and hopefully it passes, because I'm not trying to drop another $50 on a fucking SMOG check, man. Dude, I'm so mad. So it passed all the visual inspection stuff right there. And then we go down to OBD2 monitors not ready. So this catalyst, EGR, and evaporative system, like they couldn't read it because the monitors weren't ready. I'm just hoping the next time I don't fail it, because I don't really lose anything from failing it this time. I just have a little bit longer time where I can't put in back my aftermarket intake and I can't put back my tune, so I'm gonna be stuck for a little bit. But as long as I pass it the next time, I'm not gonna be spending any more money, and then I can do my registration and I'll be good. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait, keep driving it, and hope for the best, because next time I check it, the shit better go my way. So I think that's gonna wrap up today's vlog. I think we got a good amount of content in. We got that intake install and just me talking about my SMOG and all that kind of stuff. Later on, hopefully this weekend, I'm gonna install my Mach 1 chin spoiler on my car. It goes under the front bumper. It's black. It's gonna make it look a lot more aggressive, and I'm really excited for that. If I have time, I'm definitely gonna make a video for you guys. I'll upload another vlog. I also have some content from me trying a bunch of G Fuel flavors. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. I can upload that too. I might actually end up adding it to the end of this video, but I guess we're gonna have to see. But thank you everybody once again. I'm gonna be back to school on Monday, and my streams are gonna resume like usual. So I'm gonna be back to playing some BO1, maybe a little bit of BO2 or BO3 or World at War. Back on that Ascension grind. Instas are coming soon, I promise. Maybe some Darius getting that first 100, and maybe some BO3 too. I don't really know, man. But thanks everybody for coming in today. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.